What if I told you that for almost all of human history, nobody had a job? No alarm clocks, no Monday mornings, no job interviews, no resumes, no bosses telling you when to clock in. For nearly 290,000 years, modern humans lived without careers, salaries, or offices. That sounds impossible today. We're taught that humans have always struggled from sunrise to sunset just to survive. But anthropology tells a very different story. In fact, one of the biggest myths about our ancestors is that they spent every waking moment fighting hunger. The evidence suggests the opposite. Most hunter-gatherers only worked when they actually needed something. And once those needs were met, they stopped. Researchers who studied hunter-gatherer societies discovered something shocking. The average person spent only 3 to 5 hours each day gathering food, hunting, fishing, or making essential tools. Everything else? It was free time. They rested. They laughed. They told stories around the fire. They played games. They taught children. They danced. They sang. They built friendships. Life wasn't about maximizing productivity. It was about maintaining balance. Survival mattered, but living mattered just as much. This isn't just speculation. The Hadza people of Tanzania still live one of the closest lifestyles to our ancient ancestors. Each morning, many men spend only a few hours hunting. Women gather berries, roots, and honey. Once enough food has been collected, the work is over. The rest of the day is spent talking, relaxing, making tools, caring for children, and strengthening relationships. Nobody keeps working simply for the sake of working. Their wealth isn't measured by possessions. It's measured by time. If early humans were constantly starving, who painted the caves? Who carved beautiful jewelry? Who made musical instruments from bird bones over 40,000 years ago? These incredible discoveries reveal something important. Creativity requires free time. Ancient people weren't simply surviving. They were imagining, creating, celebrating, passing stories from one generation to the next. Long before cities existed, human culture was already thriving. Then everything changed. Around 12,000 years ago, humans began farming. At first, agriculture seemed like the perfect solution. Food could be grown instead of hunted. Communities became permanent. Populations exploded. But farming came with an unexpected price. Fields demanded constant attention. Seeds had to be planted, crops watered, weeds removed, harvests protected, food stored. Instead of following nature, humans became tied to the land. Archaeologists discovered that early farmers often suffered more disease, poorer nutrition, shorter lifespans, and harder physical labor than the hunter-gatherers who came before them. Progress had a cost. Farming created something humanity had never seen before. Private property, stored wealth, social classes, power. As villages became cities, people specialized. Some became blacksmiths, others became soldiers, builders, merchants, priests. Over time, people stopped producing everything they needed themselves. Instead, they depended on everyone else. The first true economy had arrived. Thousands of years later came another enormous shift. The Industrial Revolution. For the first time in history, millions of people sold hours of their lives for wages. Factories replaced forests. Time clocks replaced the rising sun. The value of a person slowly became connected to how many hours they worked. Working wasn't just survival anymore. It became identity. Although workers eventually won weekends and the 40-hour workweek, the system remained. Today we have machines that do work our ancestors couldn't even imagine. Computers, robots, artificial intelligence, instant communication. Yet many people still spend over 1,800 hours every year working, more than many medieval peasants ever did. Technology made us more productive, but it didn't necessarily give us more free time. Instead, we often use vacations and retirement to briefly experience the freedom our ancestors enjoyed naturally. Ancient humans weren't lazy. They were efficient. They worked only until life was secure. Then they focused on what truly made them human. Family, friendship, stories, music, curiosity, community. Maybe the question isn't, what did ancient humans do all day? Maybe the better question is, what happened to all our time? If you enjoyed this journey into humanity's forgotten past, subscribe for more stories that challenge everything you thought you knew about history.